Oh, wow. Wow, interesting indeed. Indeed, indeed. I didn't think I would be getting anywhere close to the end of the mission. Here we are, looking at credits. Thank you for all those who joined along for the ride and followers I gained from streaming this game. I really do appreciate it. So just my initial thoughts are, wow, what a game, what an experience. Honestly, it was,
Nostromo.
I'm not a huge, like I've been saying, I'm not a huge fan of horror survival titles necessarily, but I can appreciate them. I like scary movies. I like horror movies, slashers, all that stuff. So experiencing it in gameplay is a little different, but I enjoy it all the same. And I was kind of getting into the alien stuff right leading up till Halloween anyway, so it was kind of serendipitous timing for me to start streaming this game when it went on sale. So I grabbed it, played it during spooky season. So here we are. I did not think I'd be ending it this week. That's kind of interesting. And I know that I'm pretty sure I'm like toward the end of the Quarry as well. But I thought I'd have at least 2 more streams out of this. But anyways, I just prefer to say ahead of time in my schedule, hey, this is the end of the game or the finale or whatever. But anyways, I digress. This game has been quite the ride. It's been a lot of fun. Definitely definitely scarier at the beginning when, don't know what to expect, don't know what the gameplay is like and the controls, but by the time you're at the end of the game, you're pretty used to it and just want to get through the jump scares and all that.
With a little luck.
I would say the last quarter of the game to fifth of the game is kind of a slog, to be honest. And what I mean by that is that it all feels very much like it's kind of a rush because you feel that you're at the end of the game and you're trying to get through it, trying to get to the end. It just feels like a lot happens in the last 4 to 5 chapters, and the chapters feel shorter, but they feel like they're more like one big long chapter. So I would say the pacing was a little bit off here and there. Like the beginning felt a little bit long. And then like the end game felt it felt a little bit like like the pacing overall, I guess the gist of what I'm saying is that the pacing overall felt a little bit inconsistent at times, in my opinion. But that's really the only gripe I would have about it. I mean, this is it's incredible. It's incredible how much time and dedication went into this game. I know that a lot of effort went into creating the alien and having them feel very alive, very like adaptable to what you're doing in the game. Like if you loitered in an area too long, the alien would come for you. I felt like at the end of the game, it's more like the alien is just gonna pop up near you no matter what you do. I did feel like maybe starting like halfway through my playthrough through to the end of the game, I probably could have played on a harder difficulty because I just felt like I had a lot of items and components at my disposal. I was always pretty much, for the majority of the game, I was always maxed out on items There were several different types of items I found myself just never using. I never felt myself using the noisemaker or flares or like the only time I used pipe bombs and Molotovs were against synthetics, were against androids basically. Or maybe one or two situations against the alien. I would throw a Molotov, but for the most part, I just stuck with a couple of tools. I guess all this to say, the difficulty, the easy difficulty I felt like I played on was a little bit too easy toward the end of the game. I probably could have played on a more normal difficulty, but I just wanted to experience it. You know, I'm not very familiar with these types of games, so it was just, I mean, I still had fun either way. I just want to, for a game like this, I don't necessarily want to be struggling and like dying over and over again. I kind of just want to experience the story, the explaining of the story, unfolding of the story. I don't want to be stuck on a part in the game. That's, I guess, what I'm getting at. And I felt like this game struggled a little bit with that here and there. I would be kind of stuck on a part where it'd be like I wasn't scared anymore. It was just like, okay, the alien has popped out and killed me a couple times. Let's just get through at this point. But I mean, it is what it is, you know. I did play on a really easy difficulty. I didn't die too many times. But I mean, that is part of the game, is dying and getting used to the alien and mixing up your gameplay against the alien. So I probably didn't experience that as much as I could have, per se, but I'm okay with that. I'm really happy with how this story unfolded. I felt like it was a really interesting narrative to tie directly into a movie that came out, 30 plus years before this game came out. I felt that it was a really creative way to make a game, tie it into an existing IP, and have it play out in the same exact universe, pretty much same timeline even. Yeah, I mean, you got Sigourney Weaver and her voicing her own character in the game. I mean, what more do you want? That's like this is probably, I would say it's probably the best adaptation of a video game from a movie that I've ever played. I know that a lot of movies will come out where they kind of develop a game for the movie. This was a game completely developed out of the love of the source material that came out like 40 years beforehand. So, I mean, you can hear it right now. The original score from the original movie. I mean, the whole aesthetic of like the ship that you're on, the space, you know, the space theme inside, the aesthetic, the interior, the objects you're interacting with, all of that was done so well with respect to the source material. And I felt like they did a really good job of making you feel like that you're in the nest of the alien, that you could be hunted down at any moment. I felt like they did an excellent job of that. The fact that they came up with this really creative idea of having the enemy in the game be responsive and adapt to you, with tying in with an existing IP and paying all the respect to it. I mean, that is so cool, and I love the source material. Yeah, I can't say enough good things. I mean, the my review is taking longer than the credits. Um, uh, Man, I don't know what else to say. It was excellent, excellent journey. My final verdict would be that's a 9 out of 10 right there. Nine out of 10. Part of my rating of not giving it a 10 out of 10 is just my own lack of skill and lack of interest in playing the game. To be completely honest, I feel like part of my rating is because I'm not. This isn't quite my genre, but I can still recognize that for what it is excellent. Very few flaws, if any. And the flaws that I did attach to it were just from my own experience. I'm sure if you play these types of games and and if you're more familiar with the pacing of these types of games, you would probably have a different opinion than I had.